Okay, we're live. Oops, guys, so sorry. Hi, Luxies. Welcome back to the Luxury Live Show. And yeah, I'm so sorry. A lot of you are waving. Yes, we are a little bit late. It's totally my fault. A bit of issues getting started, but we are here. So today we wanted to take a look at the new Chanel collection. I think for some countries it's already out, possibly the US. I think in Canada, it's going out like in a couple weeks. But anyway, there are some eye candy from the slides that we prepared for you, and let's take a look. I think overall, however, Kat didn't like it.
Nah, it's not my it's not I well, firstly, this collection is always catered for your weather. So it's a lot of tweed, a lot of wool, a lot of cash. I mean, it's just really thick coats and all. It's beautiful. But this time I when I selected the items, I was trying to go for things that I would buy, like sort of like what you did, right? So if I would really, really buy, so I couldn't find anything. I was like, you know, nah, no. So yeah, we can get into it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. This
Well, I think
collection is beautiful. I
weather-wise,
mean, yeah, as a collection, it's beautiful, but I, it's not a collection that I would go for.
mm, weather-wise, I agree with you. It's a lot of like tweed, wool stuff. But I don't know. When I looked at the handbags, I do understand also that a lot of it looks kind of the same and a lot of them kind of looks weird. But anyway, well, let's just get into it anyway. Before we actually look at the actual items, uh, the June calendar is out, and for today's episode, I decided to switch it with the one from the 24th just because of the timing that this collection just came out. So might as well look at the collection right away. And if you have any remarks or question for us, please type 4 question marks before. And that way it will help us see the comment that you have. And this is an example. Okay. This is something that you chose. I'll let you go ahead.
Okay, so for some reason, I really like this bag, and obviously, green was like, ooh, green. But if it was black, I think I would have gone for it. First, a few things. One, I like the fact that the CCs are on the top. So I don't know, there's something about this kind of like almost doctor bag, the briefcase where they open from the top. I like that for some bags, and I think it just makes it more logical, because if you're holding the bag, you rather than from the side pull up, this one is from the top, so you're opening it and you're like, oh, I can see everything. So maybe that's why I like my toolbox as well, because it opens up this way and I can see inside. So firstly, I like that. And then I really like the chain. I don't know, maybe it's the interlinked chains, and then a little bit of that almost like bihun, like stringy chain. It's just a mix of everything that I thought, wow, I like this bag. But it's expensive. It's well, the thing, when I was looking at this, when we were doing the slides, the Singapore website did not upload the pictures yet. So I had to use the US site. So I didn't know the prices, but I think while we talk about the other, when you're sharing it, I'll pull up the price for this in Singapore. But if I'm not mistaken, it's almost $7,000. It's really, really, really expensive. But there's something about it. I love this whole package. It's quite simple, but I like it.
Yeah, it is quite simple. I think what I like about this one, it's not even the chain or anything. It's sort of like the color actually. The colors this season, I have to say, I really like. They're not necessarily colors that I would buy because I try to stay in the neutral family just for ease of use every day. But they had this color, they had some yellows, they had some like really dark brown, but almost like very dark caramel. It's just very pretty. So
Mm.
that's something that I like about this collection. But it's true. This shape in general, and the fact that it opens from the top is just something a little bit more unusual from Chanel, even as a
Yeah.
seasonal bag, because we don't see a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, and you can use it for clutch and all. So okay, I found the price. It's 6,874 Singapore dollars. So that's pretty much like Canadian, right? It's really expensive. Having said that, a walk is not very far off. So I was looking at some of the walks pricing, and some of them were like 5, 8. So I thought, you know what? Between that and a walk and this, I'd rather go for this. This is like a proper bag.
Yeah. It's cute. It's really cute.
Okay, this I thought, firstly the color. I like the color. It gives me the whole mini flat but vintage vibe to it. So in the past, when they had the mini square bags, they tend to be a bit more squarish, right? The vintage one. So I feel like this round they did quite a lot of these very, very squarish shapes. So I picked this because, well, there was many bags for me to pick, and I did kind of like this square. I like the lock. It does that, chain detail to it. And this burgundy color, it looks like this season there are several burgundy type bags. It's like this chocolate reddish goodness. Nothing much to say about it. I just like this one. One of the picks. I think it will be a popular bag for the season.
Yeah, I think this one as a seasonal piece is the closest to almost like a classic shape, even though it's not. It's sort of it resembles a square mini, like a vintage version of it. So, and I do agree with the lock. Very cute. Yeah, it's
Very
kind of
cute.
these rich, kind of chocolatey, autumnal colors that this season I really, really like. But yeah, very expensive. I think
I have to laugh at the comments.
Exactly. The expensive part, we just can't even, there's nothing to talk about other than the fact that we can all agree that it's been very expensive lately.
It's only how much shockingly more expensive, because we already know it's expensive. We're like, yeah, it's about 5, 6. They go, oh, wait a minute, it's 7. They go like, okay, maybe I underestimated it. So it's more of that conversation rather than like, oh my God, why is it so expensive? It's no more that. It's just, we know it's all much. It's how much more. Can I just pull this comment? Because you people, I just say the Luxies are just this comment for the love of bags. I was just going to say, how long before we start talking about Hermes? We're
not too long, I guess.
We're not even into the 8 minute of the chat. Not even 8 minutes, people.
Well, good job on that. That we're being very consistent for sure. Okay.
Chanel Day. Oh my God. Okay. Wait. Hang on. Just don't, like, there's something wrong with the bags this few seasons. Not just Chanel, like every other bag. There's a toilet bag in LV as well. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I actually really like the shape of this bag. I like a squarish bag. I like a bag that has a bit more like, a bulk to it if the design looks good.
It's like a fat camera bag.
Yeah, but why? Why did they put this? Oh my gosh, why did they put this wooden handle?
You don't think it's kind of cool?
No, it looks like a sausage.
Well, now that you put the sausage, I can't say that it's cool anymore, but
you can't unsee it.
It was okay.
You can't unsee. And you know what? The wood, because it goes out, and it even has the wrinkles at the end of the tip, like a sausage, because it's sort of like wood and then crinkles it, and the side that has 2 cc's. It's a sausage handle. Like, oh my gosh, don't buy this. Don't buy this.
Actually, I was gonna look because I know you couldn't access the prices on your side of the site at the time. I was trying to look for the price of this one. I couldn't find it. So I'm like, you know what? Forget it. It's probably too expensive anyway. And
Let me look for the sausage bag.
doesn't even matter at this
the
point.
sausage bag.
You know, I actually don't mind it because obviously I didn't see this. Like after I saw your little sausage little commentating basically, but with a picture, I was just like, okay, well now I can't buy it. Not that I would, but like no, now nobody can buy it. Like
No, you all heard it first on the Luxury Live show, okay? It's a sausage handle.
my goodness. And of course it doesn't stop here, right?
I know, it doesn't stop there. Look at the sausages.
I found the price for this one.
Oh my God,
okay, I'm gonna put the price
no,
on it.
if we
Just
could
so that
only
you have the
zoom.
perspective, right? Like it's not just the bag itself, which looks like a certain thing, but it's also this price, and this price is before tax. Remember, guys, in Canada, you add tax, right? It's like it's a lot. It's oh my goodness, this is almost like the classic flat money from a few years ago.
Yeah,
I'm
and you
pretty
know
sure
what?
it is.
It's not practical. This handle is not practical at all because your hands are sweaty. Okay, so aside from it looking like a sausage, this one's like a burnt sausage. But yeah, aside from that, your hands are sweaty. Your hands are, with all the oils and everything. It's gonna get onto this handle. I was gonna say sausage. I was gonna get on this handle, and over time, because your hands got oils and everything and bacteria, this is gonna get moldy. This is gonna get moldy. I'm sorry, it's gonna get moldy, and you can't avoid. It's not even lacquered. Like if you got a protection of like a lacquered protection. No, it's straight up wood.
Okay, I'll give that to you. I was just gonna say like, oh, is it really wood though? But it does say wood, so it is
Yeah,
wood,
it's
I
wood,
suppose.
and it doesn't even look like they added a layer of some to protect between your whatever moisture onto the wood. So I remember this because Gucci's bamboo handle. Remember that? I used to have the bamboo handle bag, and I absolutely love it. But my bag, because we live in this humid country, every time you use any kind of wooden kind of handle bag, you need to be careful. You need to wipe it out, put it back, da da da. Because after a while, my Gucci bag, because of that bamboo handle and handling it, I didn't know. When I kept it for a while, it got mold. It got mold on it, on the handle. I was like, what? So that'll
That's
be a
too
moldy
unfortunate.
sausage.
So,
That'll be a mold.
it's unfortunate that the wood material doesn't work even for your climate. That's like not only the clothes is very hot for you, but even the bags doesn't work. I will say it, I mean, if you did watch the runway, that's like the saving grace. I'm not trying to protection help. I'm just trying to like kind of say something nice about it. If you did watch the runway and they were holding this bag throughout and then just walking the runway, I did think it was nice. I wouldn't buy it though, just because it's just too much money for a mini flap essentially with a wooden handle. And it's not so innovative in a way. I mean, I kind of get the idea, but it's also inconvenient because every time you set the bag down, the wood has to be somewhere, right? Like it will be on the leather basically or on the side. And this is lambskin. So practically speaking, it's not the best also because wood is a hard material. Lambskin is quite soft. So the two doesn't really jive. So I'll give it to you for that. But aside from that, yeah, I mean, I don't even know if it's collector piece at this point. I'm just wondering if it'll even get sold out at all. But
Nah, I don't think so. I'm sorry. It's just not like I get it. I get they're trying to be innovative with the whole handle trend, right? Everything has a handle. So the guys say, oh, you know what? Let's put a bit of wood. Let's copy the shit like the Gucci wooden. No, you can't put wood. You can't put a handle on everything.
not like this anyway. This is
Not
like
like
on a
this
soft
anyway.
chain, so I mean it'll just flop around, right? So anyway, that's something you should not buy. But otherwise, there are some stuff that I thought was nice, okay? But thank you, Kat. Those are great picks. Okay. Let's go a little bit more classic timeless first. So for once, even though the price, again, we're just not even gonna go there. We're not gonna argue about the price. It's too much. It's just, this is before tax. With tax, it's just wow. It's just too much for sure. So regardless of the price, I thought the bag was nice. This season we have, they called the cloudy pearly goat skin. So this is goat skin, first of all. And if you look at the pattern on it, it almost has a, it's not quite tie-dye. It's kind of just cloudy, like they said, cloudy, pearly. And it has that sheen. And I quite like it. I thought it was very pretty. The hardware looks like it's a kind of that champagne gold hardware. So I thought it was very dreamy. And I'm pretty sure it comes in more than just one color. So there's the pink, there's also the yellow. Oh, well, not for this bag, but there's also yellow on this version. I believe there's blue. And so, yes, classic flaps, way too expensive at this point. I'm not saying you should buy one. I'm just saying if you don't care about budget, like if budget or pricing is no issue, I thought this iteration of the classic flap is quite pretty. What do you think of this material?
Yeah, I think it's nice.
Mm,
It'll be interesting to see how it looks like in real life. Like,
true.
is it patchy white? Because is it, or is that the light? So you know, when you move the bag, is it going to be like, oh, it's pink? You know, a little bit like what the LV did. Because when they moved the recent Mono Glam bag, and you know, you could see the rainbow effect. I'm wondering whether this would have that kind of movement effect. So one angle is like, ooh, really pink, and then ooh, more white, and then you get this cloudy pink effect. If it is, I think it's very pretty, and if it comes in a variety of sizes, oh wow, it'll be very, very popular. I'm not sure if something so dreamy and pink would. I mean, yeah, there'll be people who like the big bag version, but for the small one, like if I say it came out in the mini rectangular, I think it'll be very popular.
Oh, if it did come in a mini, I think it would be. I don't know if they did make it in a mini. This is a medium size, it looks like. Um, I think if at all, they might have it in like the small size or anything. I don't know for sure, but
Mm.
on the website currently, they're showing the medium size, and it's
Wow.
just, I mean, it's just so dreamy, like the pattern itself. I just wish that the classic flat price today is not this high. This is, oh my gosh, this is almost 15,000 after you add tax. It's just crazy. Is it? I think
Oh,
it
let me see.
is,
How much
right?
is it? Let's
I
check.
mean, let
By
me.
the way, that sausage bowling bag is $7,200.
This one?
No, yeah.
This one is 7,400. So plus tax, it's this is like
Oh yeah,
almost
this is four.
9,000, right? This not worth it for sure. But like, this is too much also. Like I'm not saying the price is just too insane at this point, but we're looking at the collection from a point of view of, the design and the material and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
anyway, and also maybe not the first time that they did goat skin, but I think in a long time they haven't done goat skin. This is a nice
it's
goat
true.
skin. Nice,
True.
really nice. And speaking of color, like I said, they have a range of really cool autumnal color, but in like not just like the burgundies. They have the yellows, they have the emerald greens, they have the chocolate browns, and then they have this dark brown as well. So you know what? All the bags are too expensive, but if you're still into the reissue, this is a mini 2.55. The price is high, but it's still okay. Like if you don't have a Chanel bag and you want to start somewhere and you do like this very timeless classic, I think it's okay. Like this yellow is gorgeous actually. And they now
Mm-hmm.
this season they have a square version of the reissue as well, which is kind of cool, something different. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, it's still a reissue, but I like the color. I agree with you. The color is, it gives me John ombre color. It gives me that
It's nice, yeah.
sunny. Yeah, it's really nice. Is this a mini? Oh yeah, this is a mini. Yeah, I like this actually.
It's nice, right? Like
Mm.
I know everything is way too like if we strictly look at pricing, everything is too disappointing and like, you're just like, oh, am I really going to spend that kind of money? But from a collections point of view and the way they did the coloring this season, I actually quite like it. It's very
Yeah, this is a nice
complimentary.
color.
And even though this is a fall collection or pre-collection, this yellow is good for all year round, especially if you love yellows. Okay, so this bag is called the Chanel 31 bag, and it's made its debut the first time in 2018, I believe, which I wasn't aware before because I guess I didn't even really like pay attention to large bags before. But ever since the 22 bag came out, and then I didn't have it anymore, then I started looking at alternative. Then I saw that this bag came out in 2018, and then they re-released it again this season. So I guess if you missed out the first time, you can buy it now, but obviously with a brand new price tag. Not saying it's cheap. It is a much bigger size though. So they do have two sizes for this bag this season. This is, you know what? I don't know if this is a medium or a large, but it is the larger version. So I think it's pretty cool. I like the fact that there's this like handle, like it's all built into the bag. It has this H calf skin. There's many components of it that's just very cool girl vibe. There's this two double chain thing for your just for comfort, I suppose. Like they didn't have to do two chains, but they did it for comfort and also for the look, because Chanel is known for the intertwined chain. And just overall, I like it. It's, if you want a big bag, and because big bags are back, this is definitely an option. I definitely kind of was itching and kind of like tempting. Like I was wondering to myself, I'm like, this is a nice big bag, and it's my chance to get it again, the 31, if I missed it the first time. And I'm just like, right at this point, I'm just wondering, oh, do I like this more or do I like the 22 more? That's something I'm still debating with myself. Yeah. What do you think?
I like the look of this. I mean, I can imagine you styling it, but I think from comfort, like this is, even though they have the straps, it doesn't look I mean, it'll be useful if you need to hang it on your shoulder, but for such a big bag, it's such small straps. You know what I mean? It's so
Agree.
thin. So it's definitely just
Agree.
top hand. It's
Which is
just for handling.
But I do like that it has that like hand handle, right? Like where you can put your hand through. So I think that's the saving grace. I will have to say between this version and the 22 bag, this one is going to feel a bit more clunky because it's more rigid. It's not like the 22 where you can squish it. Obviously, the 22 has its own issues as well, even though, the squishy part is kind of like a nice feature. This one kind of stays more like this shape. You can't really squeeze it or anything. Maybe the handle part can kind of like bend a little bit this way, but it's not really squeezing it, right? So it will feel a little bit more bulky on your body, especially if you're wearing it on your shoulder. I have seen pictures of people wearing this bag around because this bag has been around for a while, but
Yep.
I don't know if it really took off at the time. Now we'll see, I suppose, just because the big bag trend is definitely in. So it's possible. Again, hard to say for sure, but I would be interested to know what the audience thinks. So aside from like being very like loyal to Hermes, I know a lot of you are, but like if you're just objectively judging this bag versus the 22, what is your thought on it? Be curious to know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Prices
so this is
aside,
the larger
prices
version.
aside. Yeah. Let's not talk about the prices because that's just
Oh
mute
yeah.
point right now. Yeah, forget it. Just
Oh,
the
but you know
bag
what?
on its
Between
own.
this bag and the sausage one, I think this is
Oh, I'll go for this one.
right. Like
Sorry.
exactly.
Sausage
Like
is the last of everything.
right.
Like,
Like
get
this is
rid of the
okay
sausage.
compared to the sausage one. And in fact, like I said earlier, there's two sizes. So there's a smaller size. The smaller size is quite cute, but it is a much smaller size, right? Like it looks big, but it's a thin profile. So
Oh,
it's kind of just like they call it the small shopping tote, but it's really not. It's just like a small version of that bag, right? It's still very cute though, because you do get the same features, the handle, the two straps. It comes in many colors again, also in patent leather and or calf skin, aged calf skin. So again, I would have to see this in person to judge it more thoroughly because the collection is not out yet here. But just based on the pictures and based on all the people modeling it online and wherever it is already released, it's really cute. Like especially there's like this bag, these bags also they came in yellow as well. I think yellow, the dark brown, the black, of course. I think there might be a green. I think there is. There's a green patent
Ooh.
leather. So yeah. I
So I saw a comment. It said that Irene got this bag. So I just while you're talking,
ah
my
okay.
what's the name? Fabulous Irene or something. Yeah. So I just opened it and she got the small size. Okay, it's cute. It's cute. We can open her video later. Um, it's cute. It's sort of like a mini clutch. It's tiny actually. It's really small. So we can take a look at it later.
The small size is small. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tiny. It's like a small
I
clutch.
mean, it says 22 centimeters, so it's not like it's not
Mm.
terribly small, but it is small because it has a slim profile. So it almost feels like, it's just a shrunken version of this large shopping tote. I think if I were to buy one, I would still go with the large size. I think the charm of this bag is that it does give you that shopping tote vibe without being too toty. Like it's not so toty as well. Like it's not a real word, but like you know what I mean? Like it has that
Yeah.
handle and everything. Like so um there's something about it that I do like quite a lot, but again, it is competing with the 22 now that the 22 is out too. So like, yeah, we all kind of have a love-hate relationship with the 22 just because of the issues, but at the same time, the 22, me having owned it, I did really feel like it was a very comfortable bag despite all the issues. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. Anyway, speaking of the 22, we're not gonna show the timeless ones like the regular leather. I just wanted to show this mini version that they have this season. I was shocked at the price. I guess I was shocked, but not shocked. Like I was shocked still because I was like, whoa, it's over 10,000 before tax. That's just insane. But it is, I guess, in this whole weaved leather, they call it metallic
Like
calfskin
beads.
Makram, which I don't even know what it stands, but I guess this is it. And then, yeah, this is just the mini version. So it's a miniature version. It's very cute, but it's also, wow, very pricey. I was actually surprised that Vancouver is actually going to be selling this one. Like, we actually ordered this one. I was like, whoa, I guess some people will end up buying this.
Yeah, this I mean this one looks like it needs a lot of work to do because it's a lot of weaving. Literally, it's weaving leather. So I guess the price is sort of justifiable. But yeah, that's
Or
a
no,
lot.
it's
Sort
it's
of,
too much. Yeah. I think between
it's
this and the classic flap, I'm kind of like,
I
oh well, maybe the
yeah.
classic flap, like it's not so far off. But
It's just like I
this
got
one
so
has a
much money,
charm.
I don't know what to do with it. Like so much money, just yeah, let's get this bag.
So speaking of the 22, it's a controversial bag, but I still know that a lot of you got it. And for those of you who did actually end up getting the 22 mini size, let me know how you feel about it because I'm still, my heart is still itching for it. So let me know, guys. I'm really curious to know how you guys feel about it. But anyway, moving on from the 22. So now we finished discussing the bags. Those are kind of our top picks or then do not pick. Let's talk about some accessories and other stuff. I think after browsing all the jewelry, like the costume jewelry and accessories, I really didn't see anything that really stood out too much. Um, the big factor for me, obviously, is price. Like when you go and buy a piece of accessory that is not even made of fine gold or anything or diamonds or anything, like the material is
Mm.
basically just whatever plastic and pearls and crystals. Is it warranting that price? No. So that's why I couldn't choose too many things, but I did see this little choker and I really did like it. It comes in several colors. Again, there's the green version of this, there's a blue version of this. And, for a price of a choker, I thought it was reasonable because I think chokers has always been expensive. So like this one, I thought it was really cute. Like on the model, it looks really cute. If you've been after a type of necklace kind of like this, but you haven't been able to get one, maybe try to hunt down this one. I quite like it. Although the pearl on this one is not like, like the pearl, like it's kind of just white beads, but it's still really cute. Again, it comes in different colors. So I think of all the accessories, this is the only one that I really saw I was like, oh, this is actually nice and not too bad. Like price wise is kind of reasonable.
Yeah, I actually like some of their chokers this season, but like you, I didn't pick any because I was in that mindset of like, well, would I buy it? So because the price was just like, even though we're not supposed to talk about, but for me, I just couldn't. I don't think I would. So I said, no, what, forget it. It's not so amazing enough for me to say, okay, I'm gonna spend that money on it. But I like them. I think there were a few chokers, like a thinner one as well, really nice. But I was quite surprised. I didn't find any earrings for myself. I was like, Usually they'll have some, like a staple, not staple, like a standout piece, right? Everyone will look at the earrings. You were looking at, I was looking at earrings as well. But this time, not really, huh? But
This time is more than they had a lot of necklaces this time. A lot of longer ones, shorter ones. But yeah, I totally agree with you. I totally understand if you guys feel this way too, that it's totally not worth it, because I agree. And I love my costume jewelry. So of all the things that I saw, this was the only thing that I would recommend, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure when I bought my choker, it was not like it was around this price. So this price is not insanely crazy. It's
Correct.
just okay, so I actually would recommend this piece. It's really cute even on the model. And it's not so big or not so small that you don't see it, and you can
Yep.
still wear your other, like your own jewelry, right? Like crystal earrings or like your diamond earrings and stuff like that. You could still kind of mix and match it. This one is not too out there. Okay,
Yeah,
but
it's nice.
I didn't choose anything else in terms of accessories. Moving on to shoes now. Again, the colors are just so great. Like these are just a few of the variants. I'm just showing the yellow here because it's so cool. There's something about it that's kind of very vintage vibe that I really like. Just the way they did the heel as well. There's something about this kind of height also that is just so comfortable for a heel. Even though I would probably not buy heels from Chanel just because the way they do the almond toe just doesn't work with my toes. My toes always get crammed in it. But overall, if you do love your heels and if you can wear Chanel heels, I really like their this season's this season's high heels. They're very pretty.
Yeah, this is really pretty. Actually, you know what? I think I totally forgot to check out the shoe section. I did look at it, and when I saw your sites, I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is a nice pair. And I actually like the gray as well.
Yeah. So on the runway, it was just sort of, they did a lot of colors in that, again, autumnal colors. But if you just look at the shoes alone, it's so cool. It brings me back to the 70s, and this is exactly what this collection was. It's sort of a little bit more. It's not so vintage, but it's sort of like 70s vibes, and those are the vibe of clothing, a fashion that my mom used to wear. And so I saw a lot of the pieces that I was like, oh my gosh, my mom actually handed me some of her work clothes back then. And I started wearing them when I was a teen because my mom was tiny when she was in her 20s. And I already could wear her clothes when I was a teenager. So it reminded me a lot of that. And even the shoes,
This
it's
one, yeah.
similar shape. This is another pair that I really liked as well. There's something about the sling back that's always so timeless. But what I like about this season, and they did many colors of this shoe in this pattern. So a mock croc, and of course the signature almond toe. Just something about it that's so cool and yet modern, yet vintage at the same time that I really like.
Yeah, I like this one as well. Like it's Um, like you said, vintage, and because it's low heel, my feet would love it.
Mhm.
I love a good heel, but it's been so long since I'm been tottering around the space, and with heels, I'm looking for the comfort, and I think this would be super comfortable with the extra strap at the back. It's gonna help me, like lift up the shoe. I can walk around with something at the back, but this would be just so much more easy to walk around with.
Yeah, I quite like the season shoes, so it's not all bad. And this is another pair. Again, a lot of the models, just because they're wearing a lot of the wide leg or like the flared leg pants that you're gonna see a lot of the tweed like that my mom used to wear at work and I inherited. They were wearing these shoes, so many colors. These are just 6 different colors that you could see from the runway, but again, I have a soft spot for these kinds of like platform shoes. I kind of also, we when I was a teenager, this was the trend of the platform. There's something about it that is just so I don't know, throwback for me. Obviously, I'm not gonna buy this kind of shoe anymore just because, I'm kind of afraid to fall, but I still like the trend though. And so it looked fabulous on the models on the runway, especially when they were wearing these flared legs or the wide legs. The pants kind of hide a little bit of the shoe, but that's the beauty of it. Every time you move your leg or if you're crossing your leg while you're sitting, you see this shoe and it's so cool.
Yeah, yeah. It looks so cool. Like you, I think I would crack my head.
That's the only dangerous part. We're no longer teenagers. We can't just fall like before and just get back up.
Yeah, we
That's
can't
the
be like,
only part
oh,
I'm scared of.
I'll be like, boom, oh, oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did fall before when I was a teenager, but I was like, "Oh, whatever." I get up and then I'm like, "Okay." Like it was
Yeah,
embarrassing for 2 minutes and then I just get up and I walk again. But now it would be like, "Ouch." And it would be
I'll be like,
embarrassing too. So, um but regardless, I like it. It's so cool. I honestly feel like if you can pull it off and if you like them enough that it can be like an investment piece for you, I think they're so cool. I really, 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 really love them.
yeah,
I think this is the last. Oh no, there's another pair. Oh yeah, these ones too. I mean, there's just this season's high heels. I just love.
yeah. This is a
This
nice
one,
one.
yeah, this one is more classic too. It's a little bit more timeless. Like this one, it can be a bit trendy, especially if it's very 70s vibe. This one it's nice and it's sort of something that you can wear all the time, regardless of the trend, I feel. They're still a bit high, but there's something about them that's just so elegant and beautiful.
I won't be surprised if they make this in a shorter heel,
Mm,
because they don't show everything on the site anyway, right? There's
yeah.
some stuff that, like in the past few seasons, they put most of it, but they'll say, oh, more styles available in the boutique. So remember the couple of seasons ago, they had a similar kind of shoe, but with all the CCs.
Mm,
It's like white, yellow, pastel green. It was all the craze, and they had a higher heel and they had a lower heel. And I was
yes.
like, oh my gosh, if I could get the lower heel, but the lower heel were totally sold out. Everything that was left was the higher heel. So, I mean, I just have this feeling that they might make this in a lower heel. Could be wrong, but it would sell out straight away because
Yeah,
it's
this
really
is so
pretty.
pretty. I did end up trying the very low heel. It's like that kitten heel. And
Mm,
again, unfortunately, I think it's just the way that Chanel shoes are made. Not Chanel sneakers. Chanel sneakers are fine for me, but like they're high heel shoes, right? Basically, they're dressy shoes. There's something about the way they do the front of the shoe that's too narrow for me, and I don't even have wide feet, but it's really narrow and pinches. Anyway,
mm.
pinches in the wrong way. So I had a chance to try that pair. The very like many CCs. It was white also, so it was pretty
Ooh.
color, and it was only a kitten heel, which is a perfect height for me. But it pinched a little bit on the sides, and I was like, oh, I was devastated. But anyway, aside from that, if you have the type of feet that Chanel does, oh my gosh, their shoes this season I really love. And I think this is the last pair of shoes that I chose, and then we're going to move on to ready to wear.
Yeah, so I think I only picked one. Again, in the thought process of like, what would I really, really buy and wear? And I really like this denim jeans. Whether it's the denim jeans or the jacket, wow, if I could get one jacket, I would totally go for this. I could wear it for work, Friday dress down day. I could wear it for going out. I really, really like this. What more can I say? This denim is nice. They had two designs, I think. There was this denim and there was another one which, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes,
had a lot of
I picked the
CCs
other
on.
one as well. This
Oh,
one.
there we go. Yeah. Because I already have something like this. I have a pair
Yes.
that has all the quilts. So what would complete my denim collection would be something like this, where it's a bit more baggy. It gives that mm, hippie style to it for the jeans, and then for the jacket it still has this cool, slightly oversized but yet very, very tailored look. I think this is going to be a popular set. The denims always are popular, but I feel this is going to be really, really popular.
Yeah, their denim always sold. It's always sold out. I could not even get on an like I could not even get a pair of jeans all this time. Not even a pair of little shorts, which just goes to show how popular they are. Not that we get a lot of them. We probably get like three. But you guys get the idea. They're very nicely done. I
Mhm.
was a bit surprised at the pricing though. I guess
Yeah,
surprised, but not really, I guess, just because they did a bit more work on this one. There's a bit of patchwork on the jeans and on the jacket. There's quite a few nice buttons, which I guess that's where they charge you. It's
yeah,
very expensive because Kat
it's
didn't
very
have the
expensive.
pricing at first, so I had to go and dig up the price because I was like, you know what? It is part of the equation, right? You have to look at pricing when you shop. So the price is a little bit is
This
a little
is
bit steep, I have
crazy.
to say. Yeah,
And
very
I think
steep.
I know why. It's because the pattern is not
Yeah.
is not is actually like, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like sequins or like something that's sewn on. So it's a little bit like how they do their tweed bags, right? That's why they're so expensive. So this particular material, yes, it's obviously the base is denim, which is actually cheap because I got my denim jeans, I think for like 2,000.
Yeah.
So when I saw the six, I'm like, "Whoa, that's crazy price." And I think it's because of the pattern when they have all this like in weaving and sewing, and maybe it's some kind of gold and pink.
Mhm.
Maybe that's the only thing I can think of making it 6 to 8,000. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean 6 is basically 7, right? Because you add
Yeah,
tax, and then 8 is like 10. So because this is 8.5, so like it's high. It's for this denim jacket, especially because I really like this denim jacket for the tailoring, for the cool
yeah.
factor. It's a little bit in the 70s vibe, but still very modern in a way. And I like all the buttons, but oh my gosh, I draw the line at 8,500.
Yeah.
No, but I
No.
really like it. Oh,
We will
the
admire
torture.
from afar.
I
And if I see
know.
somebody in Singapore wear this jacket, I'll be like, ooh, $10,000.
Yeah. But anyway, so this is one version of the jeans or denim that they made this season. The other one that I don't actually they did wear on the runway, but it was very
There
much
you
hidden
go. That's
underneath a
more.
lot of like the kind of like the tunic length tops. But if you had a good eye, you would see that it was on the runway. So this one a lot more reasonable. In fact,
Reasonable.
quite reasonable. Even after tax, it's still reasonable for Chanel. So totally, if you have a chance to try it. Although I will say it's a bit long, they will, if you buy it from Chanel official at your store, they can alter it for you. But because this season they're doing a lot of platforms, even on this model, it's a bit long on her, and the Chanel models are very tall, right? So that's the only drawback. But yeah,
Yeah.
this is cute, cute, cute.
This is cute. This is cute. And their jeans, it really fits so nice.
Mm.
Like when I wore it, I was like, what? I didn't really have to tailor very much. It just looked good from the get go. I had to tailor a little bit on the waist because the waist, I got a slightly bigger size to fit my hips, but then the waist was loose, So they just did a little bit of tailoring, but the rest of the jeans, the whole fitting, woo, good stuff, man.
Nice.
Nice, yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're moving into the heavier stuff, like the heavier ready to wear. Again, these are not things that I'm just gonna liberally buy or anything. Plus, like Kat said, the weather factor for Singaporeans is not even something that you would consider. But just from the point of view of the styling, again, I mentioned it's very 70s. A lot of like that tweed fabric that my mom used to wear. And whenever I see like the ones that I picked anyway, it really resembles a lot of her old clothes, which I was so smitten by. Again, take a close look at the shoes and how they styled everything, even the necklaces. This bag we didn't talk about, but I think it's a pretty obvious that we don't recommend it. But anyway,
This
um,
reminds me of the gym, you know, when the guys at the gym and they carry the chain around their neck and they start to exercise their neck. And they carry the giant chain, like metal, 10, 20 kilos, like, that's the bag right there.
unfortunately, yes, they had to add this chunky, ridiculous chain on this bag, which otherwise would be so cute. So yeah, don't buy this bag. We didn't even
Don't
bother
do it.
looking at it. But yeah, from the point of view of the clothing, though, I thought it was cute. This tweed little jacket and the tweed skirt. This is a midi skirt, so a bit longer, but it's just so vintage. I like the vibe. I like the vibe. Again, probably too expensive to even talk about because price upon request. We don't even know how much it costs, but I just like the overall vibe.
Yeah, this gives me very Japanese schoolgirl, you know, with the socks and the
Yes,
shoes. It's
yes, yes.
just even the way they style her hair, and obviously, you know, they used an Asian, so it's like very Japanesey. I love it. I love it. The
Yeah.
bags, no, but overall, yeah.
Yeah. And oh, this look I just very much love. It's sort of like it's kind of up my alley, and
Mm.
I just love how effortless it is. This is not even 270s, even though it could be, but it's definitely so modern as well. There's something about the effortless way that it was done, and I really love the skirt. I'm so sad that it says price upon
That's your bond
request because I
request.
love the skirt on this one. It's probably because of all the embroidered like shiny stuff that's on it. That's probably too expensive, but the shape of it, it's sort of like loose but not loose, and it's very ethereal at the same time. And they just put on this the top is, they call it a cape, but it's sort of a cool top as well. So just the whole concept, right? I, also paired with these chunky heels that we saw earlier in color red, just so snappy, so nice.
I feel like I can find the price, but anyway, it just literally said your not. Don't even look at it. Not
I
your pay
know,
grade.
I'm so sad. I really like this skirt, it's so pretty.
Yeah, it
It's so
is. It
pretty.
is. Oh,
Okay. Oh my gosh, this I kid you not. I wish I digged up some of my albums where I was wearing my mom's clothes when like I said, I inherited her clothes when I was a teenager, and it looked exactly like this. There's like a blazer like this, and there's a pair of pants like this, and it was so cool. Um I just really love the vibe. Will I buy it? No, because I mean, look at the price. And unfortunately, as much as I love the vibe, I'm not gonna be wearing this too often, right? Because you wear it once, it's so obvious. If you wear it again, I mean, people are gonna be like, "Oh, you're wearing the same thing again." So like, I love it, but yeah, I probably still won't buy it, but I just love it.
this gives me, you know, when I see this, you know what theme song is playing in my head?
Oh, I think I know.
Austin
Grease?
Powers. Do 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 do
Oh, okay, that
do
one.
do 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 do.
Yeah, there's something about the 70s, 80s that's just so, I don't know. I just love the vibe. Maybe because we were born then, but
Mm.
I don't know. I like it. And even the fact that they did tweet that is a bit vintage, it just throws back. So this is another version, maybe a bit more modern because of the broad shoulders, and instead of the flared elephant elephant flared pants. They have more of a just straight wide pants. Oh, here she's wearing the bag with the wooden handle. It's not so bad, right? On the runway, it's not so
On the
bad.
runway, yeah, on
Yeah.
the runway.
But like the overall vibe when you style everything together, it is cohesive. But yeah, too
Oh my
expensive.
god.
I like this green a lot though. It's very nice. Oh, and this so elegant. Wow. Beautiful. Don't buy this bag. But overall, I love the tweed pants. I love the tweed jacket. They did a ton of necklaces. Even the top is probably like a very intricate Chanel top. Just love it. I love it.
It's cute.
Oh,
It's
too
cute.
expensive though. My
So
gosh.
it says, what is
It's like
wow,
I
why
would
is it
consider black just because, compared to this is way too colorful. This is still okay, but black is definitely safe if I wanted to buy something, let's say. Even if it's a little bit more vintage vibe, but yeah. Not at these prices. Oh my gosh. Oh, this also. Oh,
oh, this is
so beautiful. I had to
beautiful.
show it. I would never buy it because price upon request. We don't even know how much this jacket will cost because it's embroidered glittered cotton, tweed, imitation pearls. The moment it has pearls, right? It's just no, it's gonna be costing an arm and a leg. But just the
Yeah.
overall, this costume is so stunning.
You
So
know,
stunning.
about I think a few iterations of the Chanel app, right? There was a point where just when they have these like the runway pictures, okay, before they get into like in the boutique and you can actually pick the shirts by itself. When they just have the runway and you scroll up, though the prices are there. So I think it's for the like ultra rich because for them to see it. And I remember in one of the previous runways, when you click on it, it says price upon request, but you sort of search it and you're like, oh my gosh, they actually put it there. And
Oh.
I remembered some of these jackets were so expensive. They're like in the 40,000s.
Mm.
And when my app, I remember my app was stuck in the Malaysian country. So when I opened it, it was like 150,000 ringgit.
Mm.
Who the hell would buy a jacket for 150,000? Oh, I don't know if I kept some of those pictures because I just had to screenshot them. I was like, that is so insane. Like insane. Because I mean you convert it, right? But it's like 40,000 Singapore dollars. We convert like 90,000, 120,000 ringgit. So they are really expensive when they put price upon request while they're ready to wear.
Mhm.
You don't even want to know. You're like, what? What?
I
Say
would
that
think
again.
someone like I don't know for sure, but I would think someone like Jamie Chua might buy some of these.
Yeah. They'll be like, ooh,
Yeah.
cheap, 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 cheap,
Well, I don't
cheap.
think it's cheap for her, even for her, but I think if anybody's gonna buy it, someone like her would, because at least she has some places to go to wear those. I have
Right,
no place
right.
to go. I have no business wearing this at all. So
Correct.
we're just
Correct.
daydreaming at this point. But it's just so nice. I mean, it's just
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
beautiful.
Oh my gosh, look at this. It's just another, I mean, I don't like the little vest in front that they put on her, but just without the little vest, oh, so beautiful. And there's something about this coloring, very autumnal, darker red, just beautiful. Ugh.
Mm.
And
This is
again,
actually quite nice. Like
mhm,
there is with or without the vest. It's yeah. I think the color, right? The color and the way they did the trim to give it a bit more like it accentuates the rest of the material. Yeah,
mhm,
very nice.
yeah. And throughout all these looks, they were wearing the big platform shoes. Just goes so well together. And I think this was, oh yeah, I think that was my last outfit. So these are just pictures that I found on Instagram. You guys can totally do the same thing. Just type Chanel 23A hashtag. I mean the hashtag before, and you'll see a bunch of. That's what I meant by like the colors this season, just so poppy. in an autumnal way. So you've got the white classic flap, which is very timeless. You've got this bright, beautiful yellow, green. This is the large size at 31 versus the small size. So the small size is quite small, huh? It's very
Yeah.
small. It's very clutch size, but the large size would be my pick if I were to get it. So these are just some of the, oh, look at this fall candy coloring. It's just, oh my gosh.
Okay.
And then this denim, they did it on the jacket as well, but like you can get the 22 size a bag in that same denim patchwork. Oh, just beautiful. So I personally love this collection. Not everything, obviously, but a lot of things. And yeah, it got me really excited. You really have to take your time to really look though, because if you just generally just glance at it, you're not going to fall in love with anything. We have to take your time to really look at the details,
True.
and to know the theme behind it. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Um,
So Amy, can you
yeah,
hold on? Can you go back to the denim
this one.
Chanel? No, the Chanel 22 bag
Oh yeah,
in the denim, because I think we got a question on that. I saw it skip by. So Mura is asking, I love this denim, but they also made it in the 22 bag with this denim. What do you think of it with the glitter denim? So to answer that, it's gorgeous. It's
yeah.
gorgeous. Ah,
I
it's
I like it. I
unique.
think they tried to do a denim 22 last season as well. That one I didn't like as much. This
Agreed. I
one
know which one you're
though,
talking about. That one not nice. This one good.
yeah. That one was just like, meh. This one is cute. I think it's also because of the patchwork and the fact that it has a bit of pink kind of injected in it. And then they did it in silver, so it's a little bit more young. And so I quite like it. I think this one is nice. And I think
I,
this one, if I'm not mistaken, because I mean, I see too much unboxings and there's just so many people. I think Maddie Shops bought this one, the
oh
denim
really?
one.
Let me check.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she bought it. She bought it. She loves the 22 bag. I saw that she has a few of them. She even has the mini size with the pearl. Oh, I love that one.
Wow, Medi Shops. We should get her on the live. Okay, let
I
me just
know. I
check.
was thinking that too. We
We
definitely
should.
should. And speaking of,
Oh my
we're
gosh.
we're already working on our calendar for next month, and I must say so far we're gonna have a very heavy guest, like a very
Heavy.
heavy guest focus month for July, which is gonna be awesome. You guys are gonna
Yeah.
love it, and in fact I'm gonna need your help because coming up with topics is not the easiest thing. So I might just end up doing a sort of like, ask the public, what do you guys want to know? And then, especially if we're going to talk to these guests and you guys can send in your questions. I think that's the best way. Plus our
Yeah,
own
it's
questions too. Yeah.
gonna be a big month. If you have things to do on set like this time, cancel them because next month
Is
is
crazy
big.
insane. Like
It's
you guys are going
crazy.
to
Yeah,
love
we've
it, I
been
think.
working hard on these. We've been working hard on at least two of them, right? One is like super, both of them like super crazy busy. I mean, you're dropping all these hints, right? You just have to wait. Two of them are super crazy busy. One of them having a life-changing experience. Oh my gosh. Anyway,
Yep.
wow.
So
Wow.
that's just a hint of what's coming up in July, which,
Don't miss it. Don't
do
miss it.
not.
Don't
Yeah, you guys
miss
are
the
gonna.
one.
Yeah, I mean,
It, it will
worked
be
so hard at getting these special guests on our live, and
yeah.
especially because I know a lot of you have been requesting that person. Well, a lot of you requested a lot of people, but like my point is, it doesn't always work out because people are busy, and
Yeah.
we are also all on different time zones too. Like, don't forget that as well, right? Like, we also
Oh
have
my
to like
god.
make sure that we can all be awake at the same time and do this.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
but yeah, I hope
July,
you guys enjoyed
July.
this. And let me go all the way up to the front of the comments and we'll work from there.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. Chris is saying either you bring forward your appointments or postpone to August. I'm telling you, because seriously, we don't know when we'll get them again. Like this is it
Yeah.
probably be it's that serious. I think it took a
Mhm.
year. No, was it a year since you've been working?
For one of
Like
the guests, I've been chatting for a long time.
no time. I
It's
think
really
since
hard
last.
to coordinate everyone's schedule. It's just crazy hard. I mean, Kat and I, we've been doing this for a long time and we are committed to this time, right? So it even for us, it's hard. Like we have stuff going on. Like today I had to attend a funeral service. So like the whole day I was out. And so there's just everyone has stuff going on, right? So it's really hard to coordinate stuff, but at least Kat and I, we are committed, we're showing up every time. But like for new guests, they have lives. So we're just happy that they're able to make it when they do.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm at the beginning. I saw a question from Miss Charm. Is it just me or the leather doesn't look luxurious in many of the bags this season? Oh, it's probably not just you, Miss Charm. And also, we're just looking at the website at this point. We still have to look at the product in person. I have to say, throughout the years, right? Not just this season, throughout the years, I've noticed that, you know what? Sometimes the end product ends up being nicer than I expected, and sometimes it's the other way around. So you still have to go and shop in person and decide then. This is really just our first impression of the collection based on the website. So yeah, it's not just you. It definitely isn't.
I'm actually on Maddie's video. I don't see her holding the bag.
She did an unboxing. It's probably a reel, and also
Oh,
they,
maybe it's not on
I
YouTube yet.
no, it's just on Instagram.
Right.
Pretty sure that's where I saw it. It's either a reel or like there's maybe a Instagram. You know how like you can have a carousel of posts, and then it's probably on like a different page, not the first one.
Oh my gosh, yes. There we go. There we go. There we
There
go.
you
Yeah.
go.
It's on her
Mhm.
IG. There you go. Oh my gosh.
Yep, she got it.
It's nice, huh? Oh yeah. All right. So that is why it's so expensive. All those pink,
Yeah.
pink and white, and all those are sequins. It has been sewn onto the denim. That's why. That's why it's like 3 times the regular price. But for a bag, it really looks good. Oh my gosh.
Actually, it's true. For a bag, this particular denim, this fabric, the way they did it on a bag is actually quite nice. So if you don't want to buy it in a pants or in a jacket, just because those, I mean, it's the same concept,
Nice.
right? You wear it too many times, people are going to be like, oh, you're wearing the same thing. Not that there's anything
Yeah.
wrong with that, but on a bag, it's much more forgiving.
Yeah. True. So talking about the
Clara
Chanel
is here.
22. Oh,
Sorry.
I've got my 22 here.
Oh,
Because
yes.
I just filmed, well, not just two yesterday. I filmed my Q&A, which I think it's gonna be like 1 hour long because so many questions. So thank you everyone for the questions. So I started to edit it, and it was one question about I think it was from KK Love. She asked me, what bag have I been using the most lately? And actually it has been the 22. So I took the 22 and I did an inspection on it because I truly, for such an expensive bag, I do abuse. I mistreat this bag slightly because when I got it, I thought, you know what, it's a trash bag. I'm just gonna use it because I paid so much money for it, and use it to reckless abandonment. Other than this leather softening, okay, softening, and me putting it on the places where it shouldn't be put for many times. The wear and tear for what it is, there is a little bit, right? Right at the corners here, you can't avoid that little sharp bit,
Yeah.
just a touch, just a touch. Here, there's a little bit of it here. But overall, I think they fixed the problem. They must have.
Oh, that's good to
Like
hear.
the way I mean, if you see the way I use my bag, it's literally like I don't care. You cost me an arm and a leg. I'm gonna use you. Having said that, I do have these side protectors, right? So it has, I don't have that issue, which a lot of people have.
Yeah.
And it's not the softest, but even though I've been lifting, I mean, kind of like pulling the bag up and down here, it's not scraping on the chain. So
Mm.
it's better than nothing, right? It's better than nothing. Yeah, overall okay, but the leather has softened quite a bit, which maybe that's the appeal as well. There you go.
Oh, I
Bye.
think it is the
It's on the
appeal. For
floor.
me, it is. It's it's a large bag that I can get along with because it's the squishiness, the fact that you can just fold it, put it on your lap. It's kind of thin. I miss it so much. So anyway, the
I mean,
struggle is real.
yeah, you just answered your own question, which you were asking earlier, right? Whether this bag or the 31. I don't think the 31, I mean, the 31's for you for style, but if you
Yeah,
want something that's functional, I think this one would be better.
I think so too. And speaking of anyone eyeing anything from this season, Clara, are you? I doubt it, but I'm just wondering.
Clara.
Are you eyeing anything? A lot of cute stuff this season.
Ah,
Uh,
let's see. You're at the bottom, right? So okay. You're at the
I'm at the
top,
top
right?
actually.
Okay. Oh, good idea. Actually, I should write to Chanel and tell them to include the stopper in the bag. Yeah, they'll charge you for it.
Stopper for what?
I mean that the side protectors.
Oh, yeah. I mean that, you know, that I wish it came early, like really early on when I had my bag. But I'm glad that they do have it now, that someone thought of it. And usually it's like from like the Taobao website. Like that's where they come from first. But yeah, it's a total game changer. In fact, it should have just been part of the design to begin with.
Yeah, should have been.
Um, but yeah, I'm glad that they have, and like at least they have that stuff now. And so if you do like the bag, but you're afraid of the wear and tear, it's pretty much your solution. It is.
And you can DIY it. So I think we can. You know that girl,
Yeah,
or at least she's the one that I saw this thing. I bought it, and then she knew that a lot of us cannot get it because it's actually from Taobao. Taobao
yeah.
is a Chinese like eBay, and a lot of, I mean, sooner or later it will catch up. You find it on Amazon, but it will be charged so much more. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it'll be cheaper. Who knows? But you can DIY it. She did a DIY video, and I think her DIY version is so much nicer than this version because she used like a softer leather. So if you're really good at DIY, you can make it yourself. Seriously, it's just a piece of plastic.
Yeah, I totally would DIY it if I had known about it. But if I get it back, which you know what? It's even hard to get it back nowadays because like it's never in stock. But if I do get it back, I will definitely. I mean, I'll definitely get those protectors, and if not, I'll just make my own because it basically was my only issue when I had the
Mhm,
bag.
mhm. So
Okay.
Chris Tan is asking, can you invite Tanner Lederstein to your live stream?
Oh,
We would love to. You know what? Can you all spam him? Spam him. He's like so large right now. Like what? How much? Let me just check on his IG. Like what? A million? I mean, we're nobody. We're nobody. She's like, go on the live stream. Go on the live stream. Go on the spam him.
there's so many people that we would love to chat with. But again, like I said, like even the guests that we were able to bring on, it
Half a
wasn't easy,
million.
like, and to ask someone to come and chat with you for 2 hours, it's not just the 2 hour commitment, right? It's also like the prepping before that. Like we have to prep with them, and there's it's commitment, and
We should ask him to come on
timing
the
is
live
a
and
big
cut a
issue.
bag. Cut a bag, cut a bag, cut a bag, cut a bag, cut a bag. He's half
But
a
it's a good
million
idea.
now. Half a million. Half a million. Wow. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Okay, I think I saw a question. I bought a black cocoa handle mini from this collection, which is highly sought after here. But my lovely essay kept it for. Oh, so that's not a question. It's just a comment. Yes, congrats. Yeah. Everything is hard to get nowadays. And like I said, the collection is not quite out everywhere yet, but it is coming out. So congratulations. Cute bag. Okay. Lots of chatter. Ah! I had to pull this one. The bar, it looks like lapchang, which is the cured Chinese sausage that we love to put in our fried rice. Yeah. So good.
You know,
Does it look like that
actually,
though?
that's kind of like
No, it's wrinkly, I think.
It's wrinkly, not yet. And luckily, they didn't make it like slightly reddish. Then it will be lap cheong. Oh my
Yeah,
god,
if they
that's
just
so
made it a
funny.
bit wrinkly, like I wonder if they just maybe made it like in a quilted pattern in a red color. Oh my gosh, it would look like it so much.
Oh my god.
Oh.
You know, I was can I just share my screen for a minute?
Yeah, of
Because
course.
I was looking for the name of the girl in Austin Powers, and then I typed the word Austin Powers, and oh my gosh, this outfit right here, doesn't that look like the one? Doesn't that look like
Oh.
the one right here with the two
Yeah.
girls? Maybe they were inspired a little bit from it. It totally does. So funny, so iconic.
I guess, fashion is everyone inspires everyone. And then especially when your theme is more like
60s,
the
right?
60s, 70s, it's bound to have some resemblance.
That's fun. That's fun.
Okay.
Okay, let's see from the bottom.
There's a bit of chatters, but I can see that you guys are still basically big fans of Hermes instead. I understand.
Let me pull this one. Janet Boo. It's not a question, but the backpacks actually are very
Mm.
popular. It came back, right? It's
There's
two
3
little front
sizes.
pockets. Two front pockets and then one front flap. And there's a caviar version the last season. I'm not sure about now. I saw a few IG.
I think
I
it
followed.
is.
Is it? Yeah.
I'm
Good
pretty
bag
sure it is.
actually.
Yeah. There's 3 sizes this season. The small, medium, and the large. And I think the most popular one is the medium size.
Mm.
Yeah, it's hard to cover every single thing from a collection. I mean, the backpack, you can definitely see it on Instagram. Like if you just type Chanel 23A or if you just type Chanel backpack, maybe you're gonna find a lot of postings.
Okay, Corinne's got a question on the 22. So, do I think if without the protection, do I think without the little protectors, would it rub? I do think it will rub. It's
It does.
because
It happened
it
to
does.
me.
It does. Yeah,
And I only
because
wore a few times, and you know how gentle and protective of my things I am, right, guys? Like everything that I own looks brand new.
yeah. So I can tell you it will because okay, there we go. I got this one corner, and you know if you have handbags that are softer, and if you bump around, it will scrape off that top layer. So I have this one corner here among all the 4 corners. It's there's that scrape, right? And it's to be expected. Having said that, I don't go around bumping my bag, right? Because this is wear and tear. You put it on the floor, I pick it up the way I pick it up. So I do have that. But for here, because I'm constantly pulling, closing, pulling, I am constantly creating that friction. 100% it will happen. So what I mean is, I think they've done a better job at making maybe the leather a bit stronger, but it's still not immune to wear and tear. So if you
Mhm.
constantly do this, Of course lah. Of course. I mean, how can it not? How can it not even have a scrape? It will. It will wear over time. Over time, maybe that's more. Maybe I should say that. Maybe over time, not immediately, like what happened to Amy's bag, but eventually it will happen, and gotta deal with it. So this one is just protecting something. But if I take it out and I start to use it, it'll scrape lah.
So this is a good feedback, and
Oops, sorry.
it's okay. From Clara, that pink, which is the classic flap that I showed, can easily get stained. I have a few pink pieces with only a few uses, got black marks, so I avoid all non-black bags, especially now with Chanel. I agree, which if you don't if your wardrobe is not basically just all white and very light colors, then yeah, the pink will not work very well. I personally probably wouldn't buy that pink, especially I think that is the reason why I got so scared when I got that rose gold pink unicorn a long time ago, and I got so scared that I would ruin it that I sold it. That's probably the reason why. Because I also wear a lot of dark, and you guys know, right? Like here, I live here, so I wear a lot of kind of very dark neutrals. So I agree, especially if your wardrobe is not like if it's not just a lot of bright white colors, then I would. It's not that you can't buy it, but like, probably should avoid wearing your pink light color bags when you're wearing dark color.
Yeah. I love
Which is
how
why when we
everybody's
brought
guessing.
in Saki, she said that, she wears white all the time or pink all the time. So like for her, it's not even an issue because that's just the color palette that she has.
Yeah. Everybody's guessing. Super Deka, GPS, Mim, Isabel, da 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 da. You'll just have to wait.
Yep, that's right. Okay, Amy, I think the 31 would be heavy with the chain. Yeah, I agree. I definitely thought about that as well. It does look a bit heavy because it's structured. So yeah, I guess you can tell by the tone of my voice that I'm I mean I like it, but I don't know if I like it enough to get it, so that's why I'm still unsure. The 22 looks more edgy. I think so. I mean, it's definitely more user friendly, I think.
Mm.
Okay.
Ooh, KK Loves is here. Wow, I didn't know. Okay, I have to pull this from Diana. By the time my essay can offer me a cocoa handle in small size, it costs 9,500.
Wow.
Is it so expensive now?
It's high.
It's
I
really
sold my cocoa
high.
handles just last year, not even that long ago. It was just in the fall. And I cannot believe the price that it is now. It's just insane.
What? I'm shocked. Let me
They
just
don't even
pull it.
have it on the side, I think. It's
They
really
don't?
high. I know it's really high.
Wow. That's
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to swallow these prices.
Oh my god, it is. Okay, so I found one, but it's
Okay.
not the leather version. So this is,
Mm.
I think it's this season, which is printed calf. Okay, so it's printed calf skin.
It might not be this season, actually. It might be last season.
Yeah, so it's a printed calf skin. It's $9,100.
Yeah.
Ah,
Crazy.
what? No.
I know. That's the only thing. Like last year, the year before, it was still a good market to sell. Like, if you had to sell something, it was still okay to sell. Now, if you sell, I guess it's a good market, but at the same time, like, do you really want to let go of these things that you potentially, if you regret it and you have to buy back, ooh, it's gonna cost you.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. No. Crazy. Crazy.
Okay, I think I caught up to like the comments that we had from earlier. We answered that during the live. So let me move on.
Joe,
Let's see.
let's eat grass now.
Oh,
Because we're talking about our prices. Let's eat grass now.
I was just pulling Joe's comment as well. I'm lining up for all fine jewelry to purchase with my essay. Hopefully it moves the needle a bit. Oh, I guess you're talking about H, but again, yeah, not everything is worth it at all anymore. And so if you're gonna really like spend your money, spend it wisely, sort of thing, right?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. Like, I in my Q&A recently, someone asked this question, and I honestly I cannot remember what I answered in my Q&A until I edit my video. But the question was, which is a better purchase? Chanel double flap classic, Chanel classic double flap, or Hermes bags. So today, which is a better purchase? What do you think?
Repeat that again.
So which is a better purchase? Chanel classic bag, let's say a double flap, double flap medium. Okay, I'll just give you a size. So the Chanel classic flap medium, say the classic black gold hardware, caviar, or Hermes, say the quarter bags, either a Birkin or Kelly. Which is a better buy?
It's hard to compare because you can't just buy a quarter bag. And so if you
True,
add
but
the
say you can,
pre-spend,
say you have it, say you so take all the like pre-spend aside and all that, but say you have these two bags, which is a better buy? At say the retail price, you just boom, take away all the
well,
games
okay.
aside.
In that case, it's not a brainer. It's the Hermes bag is the better buy. Better buy. The quarter bag is the better buy. Just the
Because
way that they are made, the actual raw material that they use, and the fact that they are real handmade, not part machine, this, that, like, you know, like it's real handmade from beginning to end by the same artisan. There's no competition there's no competition there.
okay, so I'll play the devil's advocate. So
Okay, sure.
that aside, that only you know, right? That is the only thing you as the buyer know, because it's handmade, blah 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 blah, and all that. Okay, fine, cosmetic. But in reality, if you are buying it for something that's, say, longevity, and eventually you know, like buy a property, right? Investment, right? And say one day, no, I'm done with bags. It's at the end of the day, it's just a bag. Honestly, Chanel keeps the prices so much better, because Chanel bags, they tend to be able to sell really well in the resale market.
True.
But Birkins and Kellys, after a certain number of years, they actually lose their value. I mean, you can get, like we always say, you can get much better priced bag, pre-loved Birkin and Kelly bags in the pre-love market. But the Chanel pre-love market for the classic flaps, they maintain the price so well.
Okay, so what is the definition of better buy then? Is it the fact that they retain their value better over time, that you can resell it, or that it's easier to sell, or the fact that you enjoy your bag and you enjoy it from also the point of appreciating all the qualities about it?
Yeah. So okay, so I'm purely looking at the bag, right? The how the bag maintains itself, right? So if you look in the pre-love market for a Birkin and Kelly, say the classic, so which is the Togo, they look crappy in the resale market for some reason, because of the leather. It's like slouchy, and you go like, oh my god, what happened to you? What happened to you?
Yeah.
And you would not buy it. You would not pay that retail price for it. But for Chanel, yes, granted, they use some coating on it, da da da. But like Saki's 20-year-old bag, it looks practically new. You would pay the retail price for it. You would buy it. So
It's a little unfair to compare just like the soft leather though, because if you go with a box vintage or
true,
like even an Epsom vintage something, or even not even Epsom, like even just this, not the softest leather that has structure, even if it has a grain, those actually can maintain its shape for a long time, and you can, like, they will still look quite nice, I think, from afar. I don't know, by looking up close, you're gonna probably find a lot of things, but like from afar, they will still maintain quite a good condition. But I do agree that even then, like the market value, right? Like the price that you can purchase it at for the Chanel, it'll be a lot higher. For the Hermes, is probably cheaper. So I
cheaper, yeah.
understand that part. But like again, what is really the definition of a better buy though? Like I think everyone's definition will be different.
True. So it's a tough question. Like, what are you looking for? What are you looking for when you say a better buy? I think for most of us, when we buy a bag, we want some part of our brain at the back want it to retain the value as much as possible, right? At least in our head, like if ever you need to sell it, even if I'm using it, there is that possibility. Like, okay, my bag, I have invested in my bag. Okay, to be fair, I find that Hermes, it is really for pure enjoyment. You love it, you wear it, and when after 10 years from now, you have done the pre-spend on the bag, okay, you will never get it, like never. Whereas for Chanel bags, there's no quote unquote pre-spend and all this stuff. Somehow the bag, if from that value perspective, the actual dollar and cents, it hangs on. So I think that is where I struggle with, like, when people say, oh, which is a better buy, because in reality, when you look at the numbers, the only time you can actually say a Birkin and a Kelly is really worth it is when it's straight fresh out of the oven, that you get it from the store. That's the only time. Because if you were to sell it, right, you're like, oh my gosh, a brand new bag from the resale market is $35,000, things like that. But it depreciates like this, okay? Because 1 year later, you can't get that price anymore.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but I struggle to debate the definition of. I mean, I struggle to agree with the definition of what a good buy is, because I guess that's the charm of having a bit of both, which is why I love both.
Yeah.
Like I
You just need both,
honestly really
correct.
enjoy Hermes from the point of view of craftsmanship. Obviously, there's a whole journey to get these things. With Chanel, it's not just the fashion component. Obviously, there is that, but it's also kind of like that security blanket that you get with the fact that knowing your items, they hold their value super well, especially over
Super
time.
well.
Like we've witnessed it time after time after time, and even after these 3 short years since the pandemic, my gosh, the prices have shot up. And like even looking at the Coco handle, which like incredibly, I mean, it's unbelievable in a way, to know that it is 9,000 now. So it's just like, wow. I mean, if you still have them, right, and you bought them way earlier, if you no
Yeah.
longer enjoy them, then yeah, you can totally get your money back and some more. So it's sort of really good. And at the same time, when you had the bag and you enjoyed it, that's also value in itself. So yeah, that's the thing. Like, at what point do you do you use the definition of goodbye as just enjoyment, pure enjoyment, and at one point do you let that be pure enjoyment plus the fact that it's resale value? So like, I don't know if Hermes is a total loss though, even after a few years. I mean, that's a bit unfair, I think.
Yeah, it's not total loss, but if you because of that unspoken requirement to get the item,
Yes.
the value of the bag is actually much more than what you pay,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
if you add that up and then you say, okay, one day you want to say, all right, 10 years from now, it's like, because to me, Hermes bags are pure for yourself. Like if you buy them from the store, it is 100% for yourself, because unless you're a reseller and you're actually turning the bag around, truly these bags are you will not be able to get your, if you enjoy it as much as you do, and you use it for 10 years and then you say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna sell the bag and get 3 times the price that I paid for. No way. Okay, no way, because that will only apply to brand new bags out from the oven, where people will say, because I have to do the pre-spend, blah blah blah, I will pay brand new 3 times the price. But if you already have the bag, you've already spent it, you think at that point in time you're gonna get 3 times? The answer is no, I don't think so. Because
Yeah.
firstly, the bag wears and tears much more than a Chanel bag. For the Togo bags, they slouch. No matter how much you take care of them, they will slouch. And it is pure enjoyment. Like it's just for us. It's not total loss, but you still get something for it.
Mm.
But it will never be able to recuperate what is unspoken rules, right? Unless you're one of those that gets the bag without any spend, which you are. I mean, there are people like that, but no, I
I
think
don't think
not
it's every
many.
time.
Yeah, I don't think it's every time,
You
right?
might get
You have
lucky
that
a couple
profile.
times.
Whereas
Not every
Chanel, they
time.
could be doing that. They could be implementing that in a way, but it's still not as it's not as cutthroat as Hermes. Like you still can get a classic flap. You walk into the store right now. If you don't get it now, in a couple months, you get the classic
Yeah.
flap. And if you're willing to quote unquote invest in it, somehow or rather, it it outlives. It doesn't have that indirect spend. So of course, I'm coming from the perspective of dollars and cents. Then you add the enjoyment of the bag. Obviously, that adds wear and tear. So it's obviously many aspects. But yeah, I realize this because everyone says Hermes bags are such great purchases. You get so much money. Actually, it's really internal. Like I love the bag. I appreciate it, and that value cannot be placed from dollars and cents. I really love the bag. Um, yeah. Anyway, I thought that was a really good question. I was like, yeah, good point. When I look at the pre-love market on Hermes bags, some of them are so banged up. I wouldn't pay retail for them. Sorry, I wouldn't. I totally wouldn't.
Yeah. I think that's why I enjoy both. Both are my favorite brands, and I do enjoy both aesthetic, quite frankly. Like today, I want it to be a bit more kind of just like neutral and like not standing out and everything. So you got to have a bit of both, I think.
True.
But yeah, good debate for sure. And I totally agree. Yes, Clara, let's go shopping. I cannot wait when you arrive. Oh my gosh. It's gonna be so fun. And I love having like a friend who has like a common interest, and we can just like not just chat about bags but everything else. But like obviously bag is a big component. So I love that. So I can't wait. Yeah, I know my age journey. Amy, just get the bag back. You really love it. Yeah, I know. I'm trying, but every time I ask, they don't have. Like they have the red color or they have like a pink color, and I don't want to get a really colorful color. I just want neutral. So I'm waiting for this season. If when they release it, hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on it again. Okay.
Lambskin doesn't hold up. Maybe the new lambskin doesn't hold up, but the old lambskin does hold up though. The older ones. feel like
Yeah,
it's
and
tougher.
it still did. I still find that it depends on the batch. I think the modern lambskin can still hold up. It just depends that season if they have like a thicker one. Because remember our little nano bag.
Oh yeah, that's
Well,
pretty
you
good.
trash it. I still have mine in really, really good condition, but I really do wear it. Like I'm not so in extremely careful with it. Like I just wear it, right? Like but I am careful with it. Whereas you're even more carefree with it and like it's lasted.
That's a
Mine
nice word
still looks
to. That's a
pristine,
nice word to
so
say.
I
Carefree. I'm careless with it. Like a no.
but the point is like
Kaboom.
it depends on the season. So I think it's not impossible to find good lambskin. Obviously, you kind of
Mm.
have to be more vigilant at just choosing, I think, and be ready to walk away. I think that is the hard part with Chanel is that they're so hard to come by as it is, and they don't receive a ton of like every color, every season. If your essay does offer it to you, it's hard to say no. I do understand
Mm.
that, and they're not refundable depending on where you live. I know in the US you can refund, but like most part of the world doesn't, right? And so that is a real struggle. I understand that, but I think it's the willingness to walk away from it, and even if it means to pay more for another price increase, if it means having a better batch, I think that's what it is. You have to be
Yeah.
ready to also walk away. It's the same thing with Hermes, like to be ready to walk away when they offer you something that is not exactly the color you want, not exactly the size you want, like those things, you have to be ready to walk away because it's a big commitment. And it's not like we are made of like some people can afford it and it's great, awesome for them, but like not everyone can, right? So like we have to watch our budget a bit more. So yeah, it's hard. It's totally hard. I understand totally.
Oh, this is an interesting question. Ladies, what do you think will be the ceiling of a Chanel classic flap? How much the price can go up?
There's no ceiling, my dear. I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys saw my video on the LV Never Full. I kind of touched on all aspect of, how they're trying to make it so exclusive now by waitlisting the bag. But I was basically analyzing the trend of the price based on what I knew, because I knew about the Never Full since 2009. It came out before that, but I knew it back then. And looking at the trend of the price since then, it's been doubling every 8 6 to
10
8
years.
years.
Yep.
So if you just follow that trend, oh my gosh, like in 10 years, if it doubles again, the Neverfull will probably cost 6,000 Canadian dollars. Like I don't think there's a ceiling, to be honest, and I think they will
Mm,
get there. Like for Chanel, right? Like I wouldn't be surprised when it reaches 20,000 in like 5 6 years. I wouldn't be surprised just
mm,
because they can. And there's, we say that, oh yeah, nobody will buy it anymore, but I think there will still be people that will buy it. And for the ones that are desperate enough, but they have the budget, they have to work harder at getting it. So I still think it's possible that there's no ceiling in a way. I feel like there is no ceiling.
there is no
Um,
ceiling. No ceiling. Like you think of it, somebody out there will buy an Hermes Birkin for $30,000 from the resale market. You buy it. Like you don't want to do the game, but you pay for it, right? So you buy it. You
mhm.
you buy it. You might be one and only, but you buy it. So there, if there's a price, there'll be somebody out there to buy it. And also, Chanel sells jackets for $30,000, 40,000, where they started off what, 10 maybe 10, 20 years ago. So those jackets will be 60,000 and the bags will be 20, 30,000. So it'll just
Well,
be there.
some of the jackets already are at that pricing.
Yep.
I mean, it there's still going to be a market. Like there's still going to be people buying it. I don't think they'll ever go, like go bankrupt or not even bankrupt. Like I don't think they'll really like lose business or anything. It'll just shift the market a little bit. I think that's
Yep.
what it will happen. Those that really, really cannot afford it just won't buy it. They'll just buy pre-love, and those that can sort of afford it, but they just have to like budget it a bit more, they'll work harder at getting it. And those that can afford it will just keep buying it. So I honestly think it's not going to make a difference. Like prices will keep going up. So
If you
to
can't
look at
afford
just
it,
price to determine whether you buy something or not is really, I don't want to say mistake, but it will create a lot of, oh, I regret it, I wish I did it before. Like that's sort of like, I've been there, done that too. Many
yeah.
times. So yeah, sometimes it is about biting the bullet, especially if you love it enough, and you do sacrifice a little bit. You gotta eat a bit of grass for a little while, so like, you know what I mean. So
Eat air.
yeah.
But I'm
Just
telling you,
fast.
if you can't afford it, like it hits a price point, then you're no longer their clientele, and they are
Mhm.
fine with it. They're like, if you can't buy my $20,000 bag, you can't buy my $20,000 bag, and there are other brands. Right? That is literally what Chanel is. As they bring their price up, they are being this exclusive brand, which they are obviously, but they're even more exclusive. And then now they're saying to the regular folk who are not really regular, but to them you're regular, don't buy. Sorry. Either you want it, you save for it, or just don't buy it.
But it's not just Chanel anymore.
Yeah, it's
It's
every brand. It's
it's
every
every
luxury brand.
brand. But, obviously Chanel is already so expensive to begin with, so every price increase is that much steeper. But yeah, every brand is getting out of reach. LV is getting out of reach. To me, it's about principle with LV. With LV, I mainly just like the canvas pieces. Yes, I have one leather bag from LV that I quite enjoy, and I love that one. But it's for me, LV equates canvas. So when I think of LV, I want to buy their canvas, and I have a principle where I'm like, I already have my wish items from LV anyway, so I don't need to go and get more. But like if I didn't have it, I would draw the line at a certain budget, because I'd be like, oh my gosh, it won't be worth it at that point, because it's just the principle. With
Mm.
Chanel and Hermes, it's a little harder for me to do that, just because there's other components to look at as well. We spoke about them, right? Like the fact that they retain their resale. For Chanel, for Hermes, it's that whole like just your pure love for the craftsmanship and all the intangible factors. But yeah, it just shifts the market. I think for you, it's whether you decide to not shop that brand anymore, that is totally personal. But yeah, they will continue to thrive. I feel it's not going to change. I mean, it's going to change, but it's not going to trouble them very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. KK loves CC. Chanel only has 5-year warranty, right? I think so. As far as I understand, that's their policy now. But I don't really know how they implement it in a way. Like I don't know if it's very consistent throughout like all the different countries, even the different boutiques, because I feel like even the way to determine whether an issue is actually an issue or just wear and tear is also kind of subjective. So yeah, I feel like even though there's 5-year warranty, it's still case by case. So
Yeah.
yeah.
To be honest, but their 5-year warranty thing is, to me, doesn't really make a difference, because
Mhm.
if you have a problem with the bag, even before they had this warranty, they would either say no, it's not fixable, or if you really want, you still have to pay for it. So their warranty, I don't know, I think it's just a marketing thing. They still go back to you and
Mhm.
say they can't do anything about it, they can't fix it, or they'll do one-time fix because it's complimentary, you know. But I don't know how they maybe in the States, I think it's more they're more like, you know, into the whole warranty thing, but in Asia, not really. They say
Oh,
it, but they
Canada the
still,
same. I was always told it's like case by case. I mean, yes, they tell
yeah.
you there's 5 years when you buy the bag, but when you bring something in and you have an issue, it's like case by
Sorry,
case.
no
I'm
consumer
telling
rights
you,
here.
a lot of
No
times
consumer.
they'll just look at it and be like, "Oh yeah, I don't know
This
about
is your
this.
fault.
Like, we've never seen this, or I don't think this is an issue. This is probably just wear and tear." Like they'll I mean, they're trained to say stuff like that, I guess, but also, I don't know if it's also their way of deterring just anybody coming in with any issue, right? Like, I understand there's a
Mhm.
bit of both. It's just unfortunate because some of us really do like care about our stuff to the point where we overprotect it, and yet it still happens. And when they don't believe you, that's a bit kind of like, okay, like, are you calling me a liar now? Like, it's yeah, it's still case by case. That's all I can say. Oh my goodness.
Right, here we go. Cat's Secret Corner. I got my 22 bag in August, 22B, and I've been using it in the rain and throw it around. Yes, Cat. I do not
Oh,
have the
nice.
protectors, and it still holds up very well and with little to no wear and tear. Fantastic. You gotta
That just
click
goes
on.
to show, like, different batches of leather, like, you're just you're very lucky and diligent to buy um, a batch that has no issues. They're real leather, they're thick, they're, like, robust, and that's how it should be. And I guess sometimes it's hard to know, right? Especially when you have nothing to compare with. Like my first time buying the bag, I was like, I don't know what to compare it with. I don't know what's considered thick or not, but like I only found out all those things after the fact, right? But anyway, we live and learn.
Yep. Let me
Miss
pull this one
Storm
more.
has a comment. I love old Hermes. I find the vintage skins are better quality. I guess vintage cows are more healthy. It it's interesting. Maybe like
Maybe.
even like the
Maybe.
diet of our animals back then are better. Like nowadays, everything is like I guess technology is advancing, but at the same time, like the food, the air, and everything is getting more polluted. So we're actually not eating as nutrient dense food anymore
And it's
compared to the
showing on the
past.
skin.
No, it's true. It is
It's
totally
true. It's
true.
true. It's true. I feel it in my bones.
That's why our parents are so much more tougher and they're like,
Yeah.
they're old age, but they're still like so healthy and everything. Whereas I'm like here
You,
dying
actually,
slowly already. Oh my God.
I
Oh
have
my
to tell
gosh.
you
I
this.
can talk about dying. But anyway.
My grandma, man, bless her. When it pre-pandemic, so 20, she passed away during the pandemic, and so just before that, so when I visited her, I would always go to her and say, "Amma, 做咩你個面咁靚嘅?" Which means because she
Oh
speaks only
yeah.
Cantonese, and she had the
Yeah.
most like tight, like the cheeks. You know, these two things, they were like just like two apples here, and her face was always so juicy, and it's I mean, seriously, she had the skin of, I don't know, 50-year-old. She had such beautiful skin and so much like collagen. Okay, obsessed. And she was 90. Okay, I mean, everything else,
Wow.
obviously, at her age, she had a stroke, and so she couldn't really walk. But everything else was just like solid, solid. And my grandma would just laugh, and she would tell me two things. I'm like, I don't know, it's old wives' tale or not, right? But she was telling me, because 阿嫲日日沖涼啦，沖凍水，飲好多
Oh
水。And
wow.
that's the two things that she did all her life. And you're just talking about people who are like born in the war times, right?
Yes.
1920s. She was born in
Yes.
1921 or 22, and she bathes cold water every morning, literally, because we don't have heater that time. It's from the old houses had
Like a bucket?
like a side sink at the wall, and you turn on the tap and it fills up, and then they will just take this bucket and go like
Okay.
and I have like PTSD from that, because my grandma would like ask me, "Chong liang, chong liang." I'm like sitting down on the floor, and she will take this bucket and she will like shower me, and I'm dying because it's cold water. But all her life she bathes cold water. I just cannot. That's one thing that she does. And then the second thing is she drinks like so much water. And 90-year-old, and I would say, literally, it's so good. Yeah, so maybe that's the secret. That's the secret of youth. Eat good food, eat good clean food, bathe cold water, and drink lots of water.
Actually, the bathe cold water, that is a true thing. They're talking about, like, because I listen to a lot of health podcasts, and with technology, all of us are so comfortable now. We have warm baths and everything, but it's actually more healthy to do a combination of both. So if you can, do like a cold, I don't know how they call it, like a cold and hot, like you kind of alternate, because the cold will make your body produce more brown fat, and brown fat is actually like good fat that you want in your body because it protects you, and it also like keeps your body temperature warm when I don't know, there's a bunch of things. I can't explain it as properly as they do, but like the cold shower thing is a real health hack. Like if we talk about like nowadays they call it the biohacking. And my grandparents also my grandma also passed away last year from COVID, and my grandpa this year, but my grandpa also, he was healthy until the end, and he ate a lot of fish. So all that omega-3 is all like the good stuff, whereas I think young people, they're not always into fish, right? So especially if you're not, I guess if you're not from Asia, like a lot of like my brother doesn't eat fish or shrimp or anything like that. So yeah, I think diet, and the fact that I do feel that the fact that food was more nutritious back then, like less polluted, just
Less processed.
they work harder too. Like they're actually doing like manual
physically.
work outside and stuff like that. So they're exercising naturally, right? So it explains a lot why they are so healthy in a way, and they live a long life. Yeah.
So that's why the cows
we need to learn from them.
the cows are even healthier.
They are. I think so.
That's it. I'm taking cold baths from tomorrow onwards. We'll start tomorrow.
I wish I could. In the winters here, it's so cold already. I don't even want to take a shower. That is the problem. Like in the summer, yes, I don't mind putting it a little colder, but like, man, it's hard. Like some biohacking is really hard, but I get the idea though, because it's all scientific explained. Like they used to do it in the old days, but they don't even have the science. They just know what to do, but it's just because it's tried and true. Nowadays, it's like they have to explain everything so that people will do it again, because some of these things are century, million, like 1,000-year-old, not technology, like stuff that they do, and it works. Like fasting is a thousands of years. People fast all over the world for different reasons, obviously, but like fasting is a good way to also maintain a good health and weight, right? So yeah. The vintage stuff, yeah.
Oh my God, so funny.
But yeah, I think I saw those are all the comments. But yeah, it was a nice, I don't know, I thought it was a nice collection to look at, not necessarily to buy or to invest in, especially nowadays it's harder to buy even one thing, but I thought it was a lovely collection, and I cannot wait to see it in person. Hopefully Clara and I will get a chance to see some of these pieces. Like hopefully they're not all sold out already by the time she gets here, but yeah, it'll be fun. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it.
do you still see that? Like people things being sold out? Like do you like sold out?
Well, you know, yes, they will still maybe have some of the pieces, but maybe not the colors that you want to look at. For example, that
Mm,
31 bag, right? They came in yellow and green and whatever color, like the brown and the black, but probably the brown and the black will be sold out first, I would assume. And then
mm,
it will be like yellow and green left over, probably.
yeah,
You
true.
can maybe still try it, but like it's not gonna be the color that you want to buy.
True. True.
Um
I
the
feel
one
like
with
there
the
are small
wooden
stock.
handle probably not gonna sell out, I guess, at this point, especially not after this luxury live show. But some stuff will be sold out. Like the 22 bag is still really hard to get unless you don't mind a very bright color. Like I said, I was able to still see the 22 bag, but all they have left right now is red and pink. Are you really gonna
Mm,
buy a red one or a pink one? Probably not. Um, unless you already have all the black colors and the neutral colors. So, but regardless, uh,
yeah, it's a pretty collection. Overall, I think it's very nice. It has lots of colors, but I wasn't super impressed with the accessories this time. I mean, in terms of
you
bags,
haven't been great.
shoes, yeah, it wasn't. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Other than the colors, but in terms of like design, it's all right. That's all right. Seen better.
Mhm. Okay, well, thank you guys for sticking with us for a few minutes past. And yeah, we'll see you next week. I think next week it's a members live actually, but we'll see the members next week. And then just
Tomorrow.
make sure you're subscribed to both our channels because, like I said, in July, you're in for a treat. We're gonna have so many guesses, and yeah, it'll be really fun. And like I said, just make sure you're subscribed to both of us. And I think that's what I personally wanted to do. Like, I wanted to do some like gathering of your hottest questions so that we can bring those to the guests in advance, and that way we'll have even more stuff to talk about. But anyway, thank you so much. Have a great evening or weekend ahead of you, and we'll speak to you next week. Bye.
Bye.